Hey y'all. Hi. Okay, we're really doing this. I talk a lot on my channel about building a wardrobe, building like a capsule wardrobe within that wardrobe. All this time, I have been building a secret, specialized capsule wardrobe that I never show you. And it's secret. It's been a secret. Why? Largely because I have this kind of up and down relationship with dance, with fitness, actually at all, with being active, getting strong, getting out of the house in any capacity. My strength level and regularity of exercise for me, all of that has fluctuated a lot over the past 3 years. And the complexities of that, the logistics, but also the psychology, it's complicated. And it's hard to expose something complicated like that on the internet. But I want to show you my Tango capsule wardrobe. I want to show it to you because it's beautiful and special, but also because it is inspiring. It is complicated, it's inspiring, and it's connected to my motivation for taking care of myself and living a fuller life. And I care a lot about investigating the connection between fashion and joy. But I've kind of been putting off making this video because I don't want to make it seem like clothes on their own can change your behavior. Workout clothes don't make you stronger. Dance clothes don't make you a better dancer. Party clothes don't make you an extrovert. But a lot of advertising tries to convince us otherwise. I have a whole video about this, actually, about the problems with the fantasy self, and I'll link that in the cards. So I'm going to show you my Tango capsule wardrobe and also give you the whole scope of my relationship with physical activity in general and where fashion fits into all of this. Fashion can really add joy to something like working out, but it doesn't do the heavy lifting. And I think that there's nuance there that's worth exploring. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. So what is tango? Argentine social tango is an improvisational, close embrace dance that originated in Argentina around the turn of the century. It's a social dance, not a choreographed dance. This is the social version of tango. It had its golden age in the 30s and 40s in Buenos Aires, but also in Europe. It almost died out completely in the 50s and 60s, and then it had a resurgence in the 90s and has become this extraordinary subculture all over the world. I started dancing tango in 2008 when I was in my early 20s, first with a drop-in lesson at a bar, then with a beginner series. Then suddenly I was practicing every day, dancing almost every night of the week, traveling to tango festivals. I fell in love with a tango DJ, moved into the basement of a tango studio, started teaching and performing occasionally, and started a business making luxury tango clothes by hand, which became my career for over a decade. It's been a huge part of my identity for over half of my life, and I thought that I would never stop dancing tango. But having a kid made it so incredibly hard. He is almost 3. And until a few months ago, I hadn't danced a single step since he was born. So a year and a half ago, when I couldn't even imagine getting out of the house at night to go dancing, I started really slow with some train wheel workouts in my house. I've talked about this before. I've kind of been documenting it the whole time, but I don't know if I expressed that on that first call with my trainer, Chris. I basically remember like almost crying on that call and being like, I'm supposed to be a dancer. Like I was a dancer. In theory, I'm a dancer. I just felt so far from myself. I couldn't even make myself go for a walk, like let alone get dressed in tango clothes to go dance. And once again, I had made a career out of designing and making tango clothes, but clothes weren't going to cut it. Even doing tango drills at the time, I remember, felt impossible because the idea of getting up to do those drills, putting on the music, it made me feel so sad and bad that I had drifted so far from tango. I felt bad about not being active, and I felt so bad about feeling bad that I couldn't even help myself, right? It's like real depression mentality, but that was my starting point. And it wasn't that long ago. So much has changed, and it really started with that call. I'm very grateful to have Trainwell as a sponsor on this video too, because to me, it's all connected. And starting from zero, or starting from what felt like less than zero, and then getting to 1, which I was only able to do with Chris's help. Without that, I wouldn't be here with the tango capsule wardrobe to show you. It's like without the endorphins that I had previously been getting from tango, I couldn't start to move again. But without getting moving again, I couldn't get the endorphins. Clothes, beautiful clothes would not have helped not buying them, not wearing them. I needed at the time to kind of be able to like crawl over to the corner of my house wearing whatever, nobody looking at me, to slowly start moving my body. And I needed the gentlest guide, the most understanding guide, but also real structure to get me unstuck. And Chris provided that. I don't know how she manages to both make me feel like I need to be accountable to her, but also make me feel like she's not judging me. She's provided that. She continues to provide that. She's been so patient. And I will put the link down below. The link is for a quiz to find your perfect trainer, and then you can start with 14 days free. Chris has just been perfect for me. She's like the perfect fit. Over the past year and a half, I've gone through times when I've like worked out a lot and built up a lot of strength. I've gone through periods of time when I didn't have as much capacity. I've gotten really long streaks on the Trainwell app, like a streak of unbroken workouts, and then had those streaks break, and that's been hard. But then Chris has been there with that like gentle, unpunishing accountability. That's exactly what I need to get going again. I just do not know what I would have done without Trainwell during this time. And then finally, this spring, I started dancing seriously again. And this is the fun part, right? Because the tango wardrobe is becoming relevant now, like deeply relevant and active in my life, hence this video. But I cannot overstate that it is not the clothes that got me here, right? I didn't buy new clothes to get me out of my rut. I got out of my rut like one weight at a time, one crunch at a time, one trainer check-in at a time, ever so slowly. And then when I realized I was really going to use them, I bought a new pair of leggings here, a cute workout tank there. And then when I really felt like I had that energy back, like a more balanced self, I had redeveloped my core muscles, I felt like I could spare a little sleep to go out dancing, I started dancing. And then when I got to the point where I felt like my, at that time, meager tango wardrobe wasn't cutting it anymore. Like the wardrobe wasn't stretching far enough for how much I was wearing it. Then I bought some new tango clothes and shoes. So it's a mix of old and new. Let's go ahead now and take a look. Okay, here we are. We're starting. I'm having this funny feeling. It's like, I feel like I'm about to show you something private. It's the point of this video, right? This is something that I've been doing slowly just for myself. It's taken me time to get here. And now I feel it's ready to share, but it also feels like stepping across a boundary, So let's just go ahead and start. This is my IKEA PAX wardrobe. And I have a whole video about this, using it as like a capsule wardrobe within my larger wardrobe with a tour of the whole thing. I'll link that video. But this is the only drawer that we're concerning ourselves with today. We're starting with practice, like casual dance clothing. This isn't a very big category. It is truly capsule wardrobe vibes. So these are all like tank tops and t-shirts back here. And some of these I also do use when I go out dancing at a milonga, which is the word for like a more formal tango event. I do use these in both capacities, and I'll show you how when I try the clothes on. But here in the front, we just have like a lightweight layering sweatshirt that's really helpful when I'm practicing or I'm going to a practice event, a couple pairs of pants, and like the tees and tanks. And that's essentially it. I'm going to put these all out on the bed so that you can really get a sense of what's here. Okay. I did not realize how complete the dedication was to black and white until I started organizing things to make this video. I do have some color in my formal tango wardrobe. It's not all black and white, but for practice, clearly I have stuck only to black and white. And it makes sense for me because I'm sweaty, and dark black, pure black, and bright white are two colors that don't show sweat. I practice tango at home. I do drills. I also wear some of these clothes to do other kinds of workouts at home. And I also go to tango practice events, practicas, and practice there. It's fashion to me to have it all be black and white, but it's pretty intense. It's actually like a little embarrassing to see, to see it put out like this. I didn't mean for it to be so incredibly curated, but that is what it is. And I'll link everything so that I don't have to go into extreme detail with like where all of this came from. These are some like jersey knit barrel leg pants that are quite low waisted. These are my most worn practice pants. And I actually have 2 pairs, the other pair's in the wash. So this is a dupe for the Lululemon Studio Dance pant. I'll link it. They are significantly less expensive than the Lululemon Dance pant, and they are a little bit higher waisted than the Lululemon Dance pant, and they come in a long length, which is incredible for me because I'm 5'9" and I have very long legs. These are amazing. I'll put them on in a minute and show you. These are the Ripley Raider pants. They sent these to me actually as PR a long time ago. And before I even got back to dancing regularly, I was using them a lot for travel. They're really great because they feel like leggings, but then they have these dramatic wide legs. I can't dance in these in heels because the heels will catch in the jersey knit. That's one of the things about tango. You have to make sure there's nothing that could easily catch a stiletto heel down by your ankles if you're dancing in heels. I often practice in dance sneakers, and for that, I'm able to wear these. And when I go out dancing and I'm only leading, these are a fantastic silhouette. These are some lightweight sweatpants that cinch at the ankle. If something cinches at the ankle, it's a little easier to keep from catching your heel. I like these because they're a sweatpants silhouette, but they're very lightweight, so they work really well even in the summer. But these are new and I haven't decided if I'm keeping them yet. So I'll try them on in a minute and we'll see. And then we just have the tanks and the tees. These are some like ribbed, it's like a sports bra that can also be a top. The quince ribbed tanks that, I've had them forever. I always talk about them. This is like a very lightweight, slightly sheer ribbed t-shirt. Those are from Organic Basics, which is a really great brand to know about. They're cotton and spandex. I think they're really, really stretchy. They look great and they're not too cropped. Just like a basic racerback tank that I really like. I like that it's racerback and it's also a V-neck. And this is a quince t-shirt as well. So let me show you some of these outfits. Okay, so this is essentially just randomly putting 2 pieces on together because everything goes together, right? But I wanted you to see how high-waisted these pants are. And I have a really long waist. It's just like amazing that they come up so incredibly high. This is one of the Organic Basics tops. It's like cotton and spandex. I really love the way that this fits and looks. These are my current leading shoes. I dance both roles in tango, both the leading role and the following role. And especially when I go to practice events, I'm often leading. So I'm often dancing in flats of some kind. When I'm thinking about practice pants, I'm always thinking about pants that will work with both leading shoes and following shoes. And these definitely do. I love how they kind of bunch up. And here is how these same pants look with an even more cropped top. So again, you can see like my belly button is here. That is wild. And also how they look with the shoes that I would wear for dancing in the following role. I actually broke my pinky toe on this foot about 5 weeks ago at this point. So I haven't been able to dance for 5 weeks. The dance shoes, I'm having to be incredibly careful, right? I put my foot very gingerly into this shoe and I can't really show you the moves the way that I otherwise would. I can't stabilize myself with this foot and I can't point my toe with that foot. So I can't really show you good form, but I can show you the outfits. These pants have a fold over waistband, which is optional. You can unfold them. I kind of like wearing it folded over. I like the sort of extra compression right here. I love this like slouchy layering piece for when I first get to a practica or at home if I'm just not quite warmed up yet. And I really like this kind of neckline. It's disturbed by the microphone, I know, but this neckline of a layering tank emerging from the top of something oversized. And then these are the Ripley Raider pants. Again, incredibly high-waisted. I put just one of my feet back into a dance. I didn't want to force my poor broken toe back into that other dance sneaker again. But you can see how well they work for this, right? They just brush the ground when I'm wearing my practice shoes, my leading shoes. They really are like leggings on top, but then they have this great silhouette at the bottom and they work well with super cropped tops. Also really lovely with a layer. Love these with a layer. These are those sweatpants that I'm not sure about. I think I'm not going to keep them. I think I'm going to return these because I just noticed when I put them on that the pockets and the tie, it's not centered, it's not sewn correctly. I do really love the silhouette, but this issue with the construction, I think I can't get past. Maybe there's room for one more pair of pants in this part of my tango capsule wardrobe, but I don't think it's going to be these. But you can see this top. I love that racer back. These are just a couple of other combinations. So this is how those pants look when the waistband isn't folded over. A long tank also works tucked in to a high-waisted pant and it makes it look kind of like a bodysuit. I also have this tank in black, but it's also in the wash. I've actually gotten pretty good use out of this casual dance wear even over the past 5 weeks because it's good for convalescence. You know what I mean? Like this kind of thing is good for still sort of feeling yourself, even though you're limping around in a post-op boot. And it's also been good for staying active in whatever ways are possible for me with a broken toe. So as soon as I realized I had actually broken my toe, I immediately got on a call with my Trainwell trainer. I was like, Chris, I'm not going to be able to dance for 2 months, essentially. I can't even walk. We made a plan. She commiserated with me and she designed a totally doable and realistic recovery workout plan that has helped me maintain my core strength, glutes, and arm strength, which is actually something I don't build as much of when I'm mostly just dancing and walking. So I've been doing all of that without having to put weight on this foot, which is really great. Okay, y'all, here we are. The formal wear. This is where I keep the clothes that I wear when I go out dancing at night to a milonga. You have to be able to twist your body without the clothes shifting. You know what I mean? Like sliding. Everything has to be quite secure to the body. And I've cobbled together this capsule wardrobe of clothes that work for tango. Also is my style and also is formal enough for me to feel dressed up when I'm going to a milonga. And most of it is not stuff I made. So like this used to be my job, making clothes that fit all of the parameters of tango. But when we closed the business, I barely kept anything. Back here are some pieces that are like my old tango clothes from like a decade ago. And a lot of these are things that I made. So I made these pants. I made these pants. These are silk, like silk balloon pants, kind of. I made this halter top and this halter top with a lace wrap around the waist. I made this skirt with the ruching in the back. I didn't make this corset top, but I used to wear it a lot. I made this jersey knit. I made almost all of this. I made this pencil skirt, stretchy pencil skirt. I bought this in Buenos Aires when I was there to study tango, again, over a decade ago. And they're all grouped together back here because I haven't worn any of these pieces since I started dancing again this year. There are a couple of things that I made mixed in to my like active tango capsule wardrobe, like this skirt. But these back here, it's like, they're just the few things that I kept. And so it's hard for me to let them go because I made them, but they're not really in rotation. They're just back here sort of waiting to see if I ever start wearing them again. So these are the tops. This is actually one of mine from back in the day. I made this. It's a halter top made out of a really fluid, heavy jersey knit with big chunky sequins on it. I really love that fabric. And there's a matching skirt, which we'll get to when we get to the skirt section. This is an amazing sheer crinkle silk organza top from a small independent Australian clothing brand named Après Studio. Really love that piece. These are some jersey knit tanks by LNA, which I just love their basic tanks. I love this like high neck silhouette that cuts in at the arms, especially this one. These really work for like that combination of active wear and formal wear. I just find the silhouette really sensual, and I'll try one of these on for you to see. This is like a little lace crop. You know, I love sheer. I love brown. All three of these are like ballet wrap style shrugs. They have like long strings that wrap around the waist, and I'll link them below. This one's from a brand called New Way, I think is how you pronounce it. This is the Ozma dance wrap top in silk jersey, and then this is the negative version in their legendary whipped fabric. Skirts. This is from a brand. I actually haven't worn this yet. I bought this and then I broke my toe and then it arrived and I haven't gotten to wear it yet. It's from a small independent LA based brand called Stillwater. I kind of got it experimentally to see what their mesh fabric was like and if the silhouettes would work and see what the sizing was like. I think that this brand might be a good resource for me going forward if I need to add anything, but I have a lot of skirts. This is from Fabrique. You'll recognize it if you've seen any of the videos in which I styled it. It's sort of a strange fabric to mix into this formal wardrobe, but it works with certain tops and it's really flowy. This skirt is also Fabrique and it's perfect for tango. It's got a really great like fitted yoke, dropped waist, and then tons of volume. This is just a basic fluid draped jersey knit skirt with a slit. That's the kind of thing that's really useful. And I actually have another one. I didn't make this one, but I have one almost exactly like this that I did make that is in the laundry right now. I got this from the Real. It's a designer skirt. It's a little big for me. I think I'm going to actually do a little sewing work on this and take in the waistband. It's got a high-low hem and these gems, and I really like this, and it was an amazing deal secondhand. This is the skirt that matches the top. So I made this, and when I wear this together with the top, it looks like a dress, but then I can wear the pieces separately as well. I love this, the short, I guess it's like the midi length of the quince silk slip skirt for dance. So I have it in brown. I have it in black. I actually got this secondhand on ThreadUp for like $10. It's the same skirt. And then I have this one. The last time I wore this, I think I got wine on it and it got incredible. I wore it to a really late, long Saturday night milonga. I was dancing until like 2 a.m. It was the first time I had worn it to really seriously dance. I thought that because it was bias cut, I would be able to really take a full step in it and it wouldn't matter that it was so long. But it actually turned out that I wasn't able to do like leg wraps. My legs were too confined. So I ended up rolling the waistband over a bunch of times until it was short, until it was as short as these. And then I was able to dance properly in it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might cut it up and turn it into something else or just not use it for tango. And then this is one of my own. I used to make a lot of flowy, layered, asymmetrical, dramatic skirts like this. They tended to be more romantic, like florals and lace and stuff. Towards the end of my time making tango clothes, my aesthetic overall was starting to shift. So when we closed the business, this was like the only piece that I desperately wanted to keep for myself. And I'm really, really, really glad that I kept it. I don't wear it very often. It's quite formal and very dramatic, but I love that it's here. Pants. These pants are very sheer, but I love that. And they have slits all the way up the side. I think they're supposed to be like a beach cover up or something, but I love wearing them for tango. These are also really perfect. They are from Dish. I also have, so I don't keep these with my tango clothes because I wear them all the time outside of tango, but these are those black crane balloon pants that I've been talking about recently. I haven't really gotten a chance to dance in them because again, I broke my toe. These are a pretty recent acquisition, but they're definitely going to be good tango pants once I get back out onto the dance floor. So I guess I have 3 pairs that work really well. And then dresses. This is just a really stretchy tank dress. This is an incredibly old, like I've had this forever. It's so wretched and has holes in it and is just pretty disgusting. I've washed it and worn it like 1,000 times. It was always only ever this thin jersey knit, so I don't know. But I just can't let it go because I love the wrap silhouette and it's short, but I feel really confident in it for some reason. It has, I don't know, it has a lot of good history. I just keep keeping it. I bought this from Dish when it was super on sale and I haven't worn it yet. I thought I could layer it over pants, but I'm not so sure. And then this is also something I've had literally forever, like since the olden days. I got it at a thrift shop, but it's DKNY. It is stretch silk. It's just a shift. It needs to be steamed. I love the silhouette. It's very legs forward and then the body is pretty loose, so it has balance. And that's it. But I do a lot of mixing and matching of the tops and skirts and pants. So I'm gonna try on some outfits and kind of show you how they look. Okay, so I tried on a lot of it. I showed you a lot of it. I really wanted to give you a sense of how the pieces mix and match, right? I mean, that's kind of like the core idea of a true capsule wardrobe, a bunch of different outfits using the same components. Now let's talk about shoes. I actually was able to put on some of my dance heels and stabilize myself and show you some of the shapes of tango. I wasn't really able to go all out, but I was able to do some, hopefully without compromising my broken toe. Until today, though, I haven't been able to put on these heels at all, and I probably shouldn't have done it today. I did it for you, but I'm going to wait until my toe is fully healed before I start wearing my heels again. And that's another thing that Chris, my Train Well trainer, has really been amazing about. She has already planned some workouts that are essentially incorporating PT, like some physical therapy for my foot. Once it's healed enough so that I can put weight on that toe, she has some exercises lined up that will help me get strength back into the foot, because it's not just the toe. It's like all of the muscles in the foot and leg are compromised because I haven't been able to walk properly. And also my other foot and my other leg, like everything is all messed up. And as soon as I can put weight on both feet equally, I'll be able to do those PT exercises through Train Well and get strength back as fast as possible. So I really look forward to being able to properly wear these shoes again. Let's talk about them. These are just my current shoes, and not even all of these are in play. I have gone through quite literally many dozens of tango shoes in my life, in the past 15 years, because like any athletic tool, which is essentially what they are, like any tool, they wear out. These, for example, I probably bought them like maybe 8 years ago, and they've completely lost structural integrity because I've worn them. I've danced hundreds of miles on them. They don't have structural integrity anymore. They're just soft, and so they're not supporting my feet. So these are out. These I bought in Buenos Aires in 2014, and I keep them around because they've got rubber on the bottom, which is quite unusual for a tango shoe. But when I find myself in a place where the floor is not easy to dance on, like it's too slick or it's concrete or something, they come in handy. They also have a pretty low heel, which comes in handy. These have also lost structural integrity. So these are still wearable, but I rarely wear them. These are like essentially retired. These are the ones that are in play right now. It's good to have a couple pairs, not just for fashion reasons, because it's good for the foot, especially if you're dancing for several hours, to be able to change into a shoe that has even just a slightly different heel height, like even just a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. It changes the way that you're using your foot and relieves some pressure. If I'm out dancing for hours and hours, I'll often change my shoes halfway through the night, and sometimes they change from a shorter heel to a taller heel, and it feels more comfortable because it's just a slight change in the angle of the foot. So these are my shortest. These are the most practical. They're like my practice heels, but they're also my nude pair. And then this pair is incredibly beautiful, but they're a little bit less comfortable because they're this stiff patent leather. They fit my foot really well. They have a lot of cushioning, but they're a pretty firm shoe. Regina makes this very soft, like bendable shoe that it just feels like it grew out of my foot. I really, really love these, and they also are really cushioned. These are my newest. And then the dance sneakers, I actually bought these right before I broke my toe as well, and I haven't really gotten to dance in them as much, but I love the way they feel and fit. They have a very flexible sole, but without having a split arch, because I had been leading and practicing in these. They're fine, but this empty arch, some people really like that, but I can get like plantar fasciitis really easily, and these also had lost structural integrity. I've had them for years. I'd had them for years. This is my current tango shoe closet. And as you can see up close, they're not that glamorous because they get really dirty and worn out and scuffed up really fast. I'm glad that tango shoes are so beautiful because it makes it extra enjoyable to wear them. But really, at the heart of it, they are just tools. Okay, that's it. That's my tango capsule wardrobe. I'm so excited about this. It's really fun to see it all laid out. I'm so looking forward to getting back to dancing. I really appreciate Train Well for working with me on this video. And before I go, I have to tell you that my husband, Joe, has had his own Train Well trainer for months now, and the results have been spectacular. Like, he is swole. He will say he is not. He will demur. He might not let me take footage of his muscles for this video, but I'm really here for the improved mood and increased energy levels. in my spouse. Him using Trainwell has changed both of our lives. And he raves about Trainwell. Whenever it comes up, he's like, it's an incredible deal. The logistics are perfect. I would never be able to have this kind of personal attention if I had to get myself to a gym. He will go on and on about it. Like at dinner. I will put the link down below. It's a quiz to find your perfect trainer, and then you can get 14 days of workouts for free. And zooming out, this has really been a way to think about how important it is to keep this in perspective, right? You build your life, you invest in your life, and then you curate a wardrobe to garnish that life. I love wardrobe building and I love making videos about it, but I want to remember for myself and also remember to keep saying that clothes won't do the work for you. Like the work of becoming. As you become the person you imagine yourself being, the clothes will become relevant and then you can play. That is essentially the story of my activewear and dancewear wardrobe and the honestly tedious and challenging road back into my dancing body, like the road back into being someone for whom that wardrobe is relevant. And it's been a marvelous pleasure to articulate that today. And I hope that it makes sense to you, even if you're not a tango dancer. I hope that it makes sense to you and it's something that you can apply to your own life. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I hope that you are taking as good care of yourself as I would wish for you. Sit quietly with yourself, spend time with yourself, take care of yourself.